the book I am doing is Puff the Magic Dragon. For those of you who don't know the story, it's a picture book that talks about Puff the Magic Dragon and his little friend Jackie Pepper and all their crazy adventures that they go on. But one day, Jackie Pepper grows up and leaves Puff behind, and Puff stops roaring and goes back into his cave until a new friend comes along. So, the first question you want to ask yourself is, are the illustrations accurate and do they correspond to the content of the story? In Puff the Magic Dragon, the illustrations are accurate and they do correspond to the content of the story. For example, this page says, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. In the back, you can see the sea and you can see the land called Honolulu. On this page, it says, together they would travel on a boat with a billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. So they're on a boat and Jackie is perched. On any page that you go through, you'll constantly see the sea in the land that is called Honolulu. So the story and illustrations go hand in hand, and the illustrations correspond to what is really going on in the story. The next question you want to ask yourself is, do the illustrations complement the setting, plot, and mood of the story? So the setting is in a land called Honolulu. Every page you go to, you see the sea that Puff lives by, and you always see the land Honolulu. The mood of the story is very, very playful and friendly, and so the artist uses light colors such as like green for Puff, a yellow shirt, light blue for the sea and for the sky. So the illustrations are very, very colorful and just very light and very playful, which complements the mood of the whole story. The third question you want to ask is, do the illustrations enhance the characterization? I personally, I believe that the illustrations do enhance the characterization. So on this page, it is really hard to kind of see exactly what a dragon looks like. All dragons look different. But here you kind of see that Puff is this kind of dragon with very tiny wings. And then you get a really good sense of kind of what Jackie Pepper looks like. And then when they talk about the kings and queens and the pirates, you can really tell that they're pirates because he has a hook, he has an eye patch, there's a pirate flag, the king or queen, they're wearing crowns. So it really does enhance the characterization and really helps you see who these characters are. The fourth question is, do both the text and the illustrations avoid stereotypes of race and sex? The boy's name is Jackie Pepper. Jackie, you normally would consider would be a girl's name, but in this book, it's a boy. So this book does a really good job at avoiding stereotypes of race and sex, because it talks about nobles, kings, and princesses. So it just doesn't say kings. It talks about that there's both girls and boys, and Jackie Pepper is a boy. So it does a really good job at avoiding some of those typical stereotypes. The next question is, will the plot appeal to children? The plot really does appeal to children because, one, younger children love fantasy kind of books, so they love being taken on a dragon. And younger kids have always have at least one imaginary friend that they take on all these crazy adventures. And Puff the Magic Dragon is Jackie Paper's imaginary friend that they go on daring adventures, such as swinging into the sea, riding a boat together, visiting the kings and princesses, or even visiting the pirates. They go on all these crazy adventures, and for younger children, this book is really great because they can relate to having that imaginary friend that they take everywhere with them. The next question is the theme worthwhile? I think the theme is very worthwhile because younger kids can relate to having that imaginary friend that one day when they get older, like Jackie Pepper at the end of the book, such as it says, one gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. And then a couple pages later it says, his new friend shows up, and Puff the magic dragon comes out of his cage and has a whole new adventure. And then Jackie Paper is watching his little girl play with Puff the magic dragon. And the theme really is that, you know, everyone grows up, but that doesn't mean you can't stop imagining things and being a little kid on the inside. Because Jackie Pepper told his daughter about Puff the magic dragon. And as a little kid, everyone has a friend, and you're always constantly telling them, you know, one day they're going to grow up and they're going to leave everything behind. So this theme is very, very, very relatable because you do grow up and you have to leave that imaginary friend behind, but you will always remember the journey that you had with them. The next one is, what is the purpose for sharing this book with children or recommending that they read it? I would say that the motive for this book is just to teach kids to dream big and to take their imagination on a journey, because every kid loves dragons and loves going on hearing about crazy adventures that you can take a dragon on. And I think that is why kids need to read this book, because it's about a dragon that they can take on many amazing and daring adventures. Are the author's style and language appropriate for the children and interested in each other? The language is very simple. Multiple pages say, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Halloween. That's always how a new section of the book starts. It starts by repeating the same two lines. And the language is very, very simple. There's no really difficult words that children could not say, and the style is very simplistic. The author isn't trying to trick the children and younger children who struggle to read. This would be a very good book for them to read because it's very simple and simplistic. And the last question is, are the text, the illustrations, the format, and the typography in harmony? The text, the illustrations, the format, and the typography are in harmony. The typography is the same size and same color everywhere. The illustrations really support the message of the book and strengthen it, as well as the format. Everything is in the correct order. And the overall message is that one day as a kid, you're going to go on all these crazy adventures, but one day you are going to grow up and you're going to have to leave all of those things behind. Then when you have a kid of your own, you're going to tell them all those crazy adventures, and they will start to go on one for themselves. And everything about this particular children's book, I feel like, does a really good job of strengthening the message and working together to bring harmony to the book.